Every time you pass a camera, you're thinking about it identifying you, it running you against the database and saying, oh, John Doe is out getting coffee again.
You can imagine use of this data to unveil those kinds of very private aspects of someone's life without a good reason.
It does the same thing that if you could hire someone 24 hours a day to sit on a street corner and watch every car that went past and wrote the license number down. And it just put that in a book that you never used unless all of a sudden a crime happened.
This is a fusion center funded by the DHS. There's one in every state except for Wyoming. Here, federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies gather to pool resources and share intelligence.
So they're able to sit and listen, and then they can say, here's what's going on out in the Attorney General's office, and here's some things that we need to check on, or here's some information that we received.
Fusion centers use the latest surveillance and data mining technology to track, identify, and capture suspects.
Fusion centers tend to have excess military technology. They track cell phones, the automatic license plate readers, facial recognition, anything that helps a law enforcement agency.
Vocativ went to the Fusion Center in West Virginia to get a closer look at this technology and how it's being used.
We've had a rape, we've had a murder, we have a missing child, and we have a partial license plate number. Can you check that through the system to see if that license plate was in this area at that time?
These devices have become increasingly cheap and increasingly widely used by law enforcement across the country. These are collecting hundreds of millions of plate reads per week, per month, and aggregating them in immense databases.
This technology led to the capture of two fugitives responsible for the brutal murder of a couple in North Carolina.
The Campbells burned Dora and Jerome Faulkner's home and then took off in their truck.
A day, maybe a day and a half later, it went through the system down in Lewisburg. They ended up pulling the truck over and they found the two bodies in the back of the truck.
Systems like the ones used in West Virginia record and store the license plate numbers of millions of citizens, raising obvious privacy concerns.
Knowing where you have driven your car over a long period of time can tell a lot of personal details about a person. It can show potentially when they stopped off at a doctor's office or a psychiatrist, if they pulled into an NRA office.
The West Virginia Fusion Center possesses and uses facial recognition technology. In its case, it leases software from a West Virginia company called Tigert.
They actually specifically wanted the ability to catalog and search vast quantities of archived video files to look for both known and unknown individuals.
But Tigert also makes technology that can identify people via a regular CCTV camera in real time.
Everybody walking by is actually scanned and compared against, let's say, a watch list of people with outstanding warrants or suspected gang members or who knows who else on this particular watch list.
Everyone refers to the Minority Report, if you've seen that movie, about how they use facial recognition and iris recognition, things like that. I actually think that is the way of the future.
The concern is if cameras are now tools of identification, at what point does that start chilling free speech? At what point do I start wondering, should I participate in this lawful First Amendment protected right to express my opinions, to gather in public?
Once we have these technologies in play, it gives the government the ability to do that at very low cost to themselves. They don't have to assign a team of agents to trail me. They can just flip on their ALPR system or deploy their networked cameras with facial recognition and then create a map essentially of everywhere I've gone. And they can even have access to that map in the future if they didn't suspect me at the time I was walking around. It's really a time machine effect that lets them collect all this sensitive information and look backwards in time to see what I was doing way back when if they sometime in the future have a hunch about me.